Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle skincare, sometimes self-care, and today we're talking Dr. Althea moisturizers. Now, the 345 Relief Cream is blowing up in popularity on TikTok. It's definitely one of the biggest K-beauty products on TikTok last year. I've gotten my hands on it. I've got some thoughts. I've done some thorough testing, and I'm ready to share with you all my opinions on if this is worth the hype or not. But I'm not just stopping at the 345 Relief Cream. I'm also going to be reviewing the 147 Barrier Cream. That is a lot less popular, but honestly, this is something that I've had my eye on for a few years now. It was recently reformulated with updated ingredients, and so I was really excited to get my hands on this cream as well. I'm going to be sharing with you all my opinions about both of these Dr. Althea moisturizers, giving you my rating, my recommendations, and really telling you if I think these are even worth the hype. So if you're so ready, give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. Let's jump into the 345 Relief Cream. Now, this is viral on TikTok and it makes a lot of claims, especially about helping to address blemishes on the skin, to nourish and soothe the skin, as well as moisturize it. Now, Dr. Althea is marketing this product on three main star ingredients: niacinamide, panthenol, and prickly pear extract. Now, all three of these, they claim they're using 10,000 parts per million of each ingredient, which sounds like a lot, but when you break it down and do the math, 10,000 parts per million actually equals out to about 1% of each of these three ingredients. So let's break it down. 1% of niacinamide. Now, we do like to see niacinamide in around 2% concentrations for like the best brightening capabilities. Niacinamide is studied at 2% and it starts to show strong brightening abilities at that percentage. And then at 5%, we start to unlock its anti-aging or well-aging capabilities around 5%. So 1%, we're a little bit below that clinical 2%. However, 1% is still a good amount to see some brightening. It may also help to reduce inflammation on the skin. It's anti-inflammatory. And I do believe that this is the main ingredient that is giving the help with blemishes that they claim in the marketing. It can help to fade hyperpigmentation even at 1%. Now, they're also using 1% of panthenol. This is one of my favorite humectant ingredients. So it actually brings a lot of water and hydration into the skin. So not only does it hydrate the skin, but panthenol is a real goodie if you do have dehydrated skin, because it also helps to support and strengthen your skin's moisture barrier by increasing the lipid content within skin. And the moisture barrier is what holds hydration into the skin. So we're not just adding hydration, but we're aiding the function within our skin that helps our skin retain long-lasting hydration. And then finally, they're using prickly pear extract at 1%. Now, this is an extract that actually does bring some more humectant quality into the formula. So more water content, that refreshing, hydrating feel to the cream. Current cream that I'm reviewing in today's video, it's 2025 in case you're in the future watching this. The current formulation is fragrance-free. However, this is a reformulation and there were older versions of this cream out there. So if you come across older reviews, older than 2024, I believe is when they reformulated this, you may see some reviews that mention a heavy scent to this cream. And that is because older versions of this cream did contain essential oils, which had quite a perfuming effect on the cream. The new formula does not contain essential oils. It does not contain artificial fragrance, and I really don't detect much of a smell off of this cream. So it is technically a fragrance-free reformulation, but I do want to warn those with extremely sensitive skin and who look out for plant extracts that may have some trace perfume compounds in them. The cream does contain some lavender extract as well as gardenia flower extract. So the texture is really interesting here because it's definitely a gel cream type of texture. You know, 1% of panthenol, it is a good amount and it's really affecting the texture here. So it's not just a silky, creamy cream type of moisturizer, but there is a hydrating, watery, gel-like quality to this. And that's what you feel the first moment that you spread this onto your skin. You feel a lot of hydration, some wetness, right? Some hydration to this cream. It is quite thin. I don't feel like the hydration like bursts deep down into the skin, but it definitely does feel cooling and refreshing and lightweight on the skin with just a kiss of that cream. That's just a kiss of that moisturization on top. I will say, while I feel that this absorbs into the skin quite well, there is a little bit of a tackiness or a stickiness to this cream as it's really truly settling. And I do feel like it takes a good 3 to 5 minutes for that tack to disappear completely from my skin. So the first time I tried it, I was like, why is this so sticky? I don't like this. And then after a few minutes, I was like, oh, okay, it's gone. The other thing I noticed about the texture is when you first put it on and it feels that it has absorbed into your skin, but there's still a little bit of that tack. I do notice quite a bit of shine to this cream. But again, once it fully absorbs in the skin, and I would say that's a good 3 to 5 minutes, and that shininess actually does go away. So I've seen a lot of people putting this onto their skin and being like, look how glowy it is. And it's like, it's just kind of wet and shiny, but it's actually not a long lasting effect in my personal experience in testing with this product. So if you're really drawn in by the claims of like that glassy, shiny kind of look and finish to this moisturizer, I don't think that it's long lasting. Let me tell you my experience and my opinions about using the 345 Relief Cream. And, I really feel like it can be summed up into one statement, which is meh. It's not for me. I think especially knowing that this is a very viral and hype product right now, I am judging it a little bit harshly. I don't have any hard feelings against it, quite honestly. I'm just really not impressed by it that much. Moisturizers are very utilitarian types of products. They're crucial to a skincare routine and foundational, right? But they aren't always the most exciting, and they're also incredibly individual, right? It's hard to find one moisturizer that appeals to a wide variety of people. And I feel like when things get viral and they get hype, we feel like they are for so many people, or they get pushed onto all skin types, appropriate for many skin types. And I don't feel that this product falls into that at all. I think there's a very specific type of person that will be really thrilled with this product. And I will be honest with you, I am not that person. So let me break it down for you, because I think there's some good stuff here. I'm going to be honest with you. But first and foremost, my skin type does not jive with this product at all. So maybe you're new here, maybe you're not familiar with my content. I do have combination skin. So I do produce a little bit more oil in my T-zone area, and then my U-zone area is more dry and prone to dehydration. I do live in an area that has very robust and distinct 4 seasons. And right now we're in the middle of winter, which is a very cold, harsh, snowy, very dry type of season. And that actually makes my combination skin even more imbalanced than combination skin already is. The U zone, which is very dry, is extremely dry in this season. Still have some oil up here, just not as much. And then in the summer, the opposite, a lot more oil happening here. And then this area doesn't feel as dry because my summers are very hot, but very humid. So that's always important to take into consideration, right? The skin type, but also the climate. So right now I'm feeling a lot more dry with my skin. So this gel cream texture, this light hydrating kind of a feel, not enough for my skin right now. And I kind of knew that immediately when I started testing. I was like, I know this isn't going to be enough for my skin. And so I just want to be very clear about that. It's not very occlusive. It doesn't offer a lot of rich moisture. I do want to touch about the active ingredients again. I know I talked about the 1% of niacinamide. It's enough to get you some brightening. It's not the clinical amount, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to see good results with niacinamide at this percentage. I will point out that the niacinamide, this is the active ingredient in this moisturizer that is giving the benefits that everybody is hyping on social media right now. So what I've seen people claiming about this moisturizer is that it gives you the glow, and some of that can be, visual from that like shiny look to your skin, which I told you does go away. But some of it can also be from feeling like your skin tone, the quality of your skin tone is a lot more even. You're helping to get rid of discoloration and dull skin, maybe working on hyperpigmentation. And that is what's helping to enhance your complexion, right? That bright, glowy type of look to the quality of your skin. Niacinamide, even at 1%, can help to bring that out in your skin. skin. Another claim that I've seen with this moisturizer is folks are saying that it helped them to get rid of their acne scarring. And that always makes my like red flag like meter go up. Like, wait a second, whoa, whoa, whoa. Niacinamide is not something that can help with scar tissue. But I think that this is more of a difference in language, maybe lost in translation, because I'm realizing that what these folks are talking about is not lumpy scar tissue. What they're actually talking about is hyperpigmentation, or that dark mark or discoloration that you have after you've had an inflamed pimple on your skin. And people are using the word scarring when they really mean technically hyperpigmentation, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. It's easy to confuse that. So the results that I'm seeing and that folks are really hyping is that the dark marks that they get after acne, that absolutely interfere with your glow, right? And with your complexion. The 1% of niacinamide is helping to fade those faster. And that's why their skin looks more glowy, or why they've gotten rid of their scarring. They're not talking about true scar tissue. They're talking about discoloration. That's what's responsible for all of these great results. It's the niacinamide in the moisturizer. And so what I would say about that is I think it's a goodie. I like the ingredient. I use it in a lot of my skincare products, but I don't see that bringing a lot of benefit to folks who have a very robust brightening routine already in place. So maybe you do suffer with hyperpigmentation. I do as well, but I have a very robust brightening routine that includes tranexamic acid, that includes retinaldehyde, that includes some AHA. These are all brightening ingredients that help to work at pigmentation. So adding 1% of niacinamide into a moisturizer, I'm not going to see a lot of like amplified results from doing that. However, if you're somebody who does not have a robust brightening routine, you're just starting your skincare journey, and you don't really know the ingredients that are going to help with your hyperpigmentation or discoloration, you will see a lot of benefits at the beginning of your skincare journey, even with just 1% of niacinamide. It is a very good ingredient for that. I think if you're somebody who also really appreciates a minimal skincare routine, especially something like for the morning, maybe you don't have time for toners and essences and serums and all of that. You just want to wash your face, moisturize, and put on some sunscreen. This could be a great moisturizer for you because of that 1% of niacinamide. You're getting some of that brightening already combined into your boring basic, moisturizer, right? As I've mentioned, it's very light, it's very hydrating, it's not very occlusive. And that's all very helpful for folks who have more of an oily skin type, more of a balanced skin type too. When I say balanced, I actually mean what some people refer to as normal skin. I don't like that word normal because then that makes everybody else feel like, wait a second, what's wrong with me, right? When I say normal, I mean balance, meaning that you're not overly oily, you're not overly dry, and you don't have the two zones like combo skin does, right? It's just your skin is your skin. It's pretty chill. And if you have pretty chill skin, this would be a very good moisturizer for you, I think, as well, especially if you're that type of skin and you want to add some brightening without adding a lot of additional products into your routine. So I see why people like it. I see the value that it can bring. I'm still confused about why it's so popular though, because I didn't love the finish of this cream. While the stickiness does go away after a while, I found that time, that 3 to 5 minutes where it's a little bit sticky and then it's not, I found that really slowed me down in the morning. I didn't love that. That may be a little bit more individual to me and my personal preferences, but I wanted to point that one out again, because if you have like sensory issues, you know what I mean? And we all have them to some degree, right? But if you're like, I know that I don't like things that even have a hint of tack, don't bother with this. You're not going to like it. And these are things that when things get so popular and they get so hype, these are the little details that seem to get lost, whether they're not shared in initial reviews. People are afraid to say something negative about super popular products because there's always going to be pushback. Check out the comments. There probably will be some in this video. But I always think that it's important to point out those little things that may be a turn off for some folks, but maybe a turn on for some others, right? So all in all, like I said, the cream is not for me. I'm going to be very upfront about that, but it has some value. And I hope that I've pointed a lot of that out for you. So my rating on this product, I'm going to be honest with you, it's a little bit harsh. It's a 5 out of 10. I am putting it squarely in the middle because my personal feelings, it's not a cream for me. I've laid that out, I think, quite well. And it's not a cream that I'm going to get a lot of use out of, right? It's just not for me. However, on the other side of things, I hope that I've also highlighted the value that this cream could bring to specific folks, to specific skin situations. And so that's why I'm putting it in the direct middle of my personal rating scale. Now, on the other side of things, we have the Dr. Althea 147 Barrier Cream. And I wanted to talk about this cream because nobody talks about this cream. And I find that really interesting because I personally gravitate a little bit more towards this cream than I do the more popular 345 cream. So let's talk about the ingredients, because Dr. Althea really likes to market the 147 Barrier Cream on the soothing extracts and moisturizing extracts that they're using in the cream, because it's all about the barrier, right? So they do like to call out the peony flower extract in the formula. So this is interesting because it's a floral extract, it's a flower, and you may want to keep your eye on this if you do have sensitive skin, because a floral extract may have trace amounts of those fragrant compounds, which could cause irritation on the most sensitive skin, right? I'm not really sensing a lot of scent from this, but I did just kind of want to put some spotlight on that because we generally talk about very gentle and fragrance-free products here on my channel. But they do claim that this is an extract that can help soothe the skin and hydrate the skin. They're also calling out the argan and green tea seed oils in here, which help to bring a lot of moisturization to the skin. And then they're using that good old parts per million marketing trick again. 10,000 parts per million each. So remember, 1% each of mugwort extract. We also have kale extract and avocado fruit extract. So all of these bring soothing to the skin. The avocado also brings some moisturization to the skin as well. But I also like to point out some more basic ingredients that do actually help to restore your skin barrier. And that includes 6 different types of ceramides found here in the ingredients list, as well as cholesterol, fatty acids. And I did want to point out another ingredient, which is guanidine. This is actually an active compound that is extracted from the chamomile plant. And this actually imparts this very slight blue tinge to the formula. It is a very intense blue extract. And so they're using a little bit of this, and so you get that little bit of that blue color in the texture. But guanidine, as I mentioned, extracted from chamomile, which is an ingredient used in skincare to bring down inflammation, redness, and irritation on the skin. And this is the compound that is responsible for that, the biologically active compound. So let's talk about the texture. You see, it is a cream texture. As you spread it across your skin, you're going to notice that this is not a gel cream hybrid. This is a very light cream texture. It's not heavy. It's not dense. There's a silkiness to it. There's a very light richness to it, but it's not something that just like coats your skin or like suffocates your skin. It's very airy. It's very silky. It's almost whipped in a way. It spreads really beautifully across the skin in a nice, beautiful thin layer that offers this beautiful hug of moisture onto the skin. And it makes your skin feel very soft and conditioned at the surface too. It feels very breathable, light, but moisturizing at the same time. I will say again, my skin type combination leans dry in this particular harsh winter season. This is moisturizing and skin softening, and it feels really beautiful. This is the type of moisturizer that I personally would reach more towards with my skin type, more in the late spring and summer months. This is still not quite as much nourishment and occlusivity that my truly at this point dry skin really craves in this time period. So I want to be upfront about that. I really like this and I want to use this in the springtime because it's so light, it's so breathable, and like I said, it gives this really beautiful moisture hug to your skin, but it's not heavy, it's not dense, it's not overwhelming. And there are some oil elements in here, but they're light and they're really well balanced within the cream. And so you get a lot of moisture, you just don't get weight and heaviness on your skin. And so I think this is going to be a really great performing moisturizer for skin types who are very traditionally combination. A little bit of oil here, a little bit of dryness, but not a lot of dryness, not severe dryness, and not a lot of imbalancing your combination skin. Balanced skin types, I think, will also really like this too, especially if you want a little bit more skin softening, skin conditioning, or you like a little bit moisture maybe in your nighttime routine, or maybe balanced skin that just feels that little tickle of dryness in the winter time, and you want to oomph up the moisture without oomping up the weight. this is the type of cream for that situation. So I find it nourishing but light. I find it very skin conditioning and softening. Do I find it soothing? I think so. Yes, I do. I actually, you may hear it a little bit in my throat. I am getting over a very minor little cold that I had a week ago. And I started to use this towards the end of my cold around my nose, because you know, when you get a head cold and you're like blowing your nose all the time and you're just rubbing that tissue all over that poor, delicate skin, after a few days, that skin is like, oh, heck no, I'm over this. I'm going red, I'm going rough, I'm going flaky, right? And I'm feeling irritated and a little bit raw. I actually started to use this because of the guazoline and all the soothing extracts and the mugwort and everything in here. I was like, let's really put this barrier cream to the test, because when you're constantly rubbing your skin and when it's raw and inflamed like that, you are irritating your skin barrier. You know, you're testing it. At a certain point, it does become weak in that area. So I thought also the ceramides would be really restorative, because that skin was getting extremely rough as well as red and inflamed. And so I used it around that area. And like I said, it's not the most rich, heavy, dense protective cream out there, but I did test it for the soothing properties. And I do feel that it took the redness down. I do feel that it brought some relief to that area and helped to keep that skin as chill as it could be in that situation. It was actually a really great opportunity to test out the ability for this to calm the skin down. And I do believe that this can help to calm the skin down. It's not the first cream that I would reach for when it comes to barrier repair, because I feel like that's a whole different thing, right? When your barrier is like so damaged, you have to just kind of like go into a whole different headspace to repair your skin. But when your skin is feeling a little bit weak, so like I was saying, I was having a cold and it was affecting my skin, that's when your barrier is a little bit weak. Or maybe you just went in a little bit too hard with your active ingredients and your skin's just kind of feeling a little off. That's a little bit of a weak situation. If your barrier is weak, I do feel like this could be a good cream for you to use. If your skin is extremely damaged and you're like, my barrier is broken and I can't stand anything and my skin is inflamed and it's burning and it's stinging and it's itching and that's a whole different situation. I have a whole video for that, but this probably wouldn't be the cream or the singular product that I would suggest that you lean on. I think it's a good ceramide cholesterol fatty acid moisturizer. I don't think it's the best one. And that's just my personal opinion. And I have a true passion for barrier care. So just know that this is me being very obsessive about that. But I do think that this could have a place in strengthening a barrier. I think that this could have a nice place alongside of a robust active routine where you're just trying to keep your skin strong when you're using your AHAs and your BHAs and your retinols and things like that, especially if your skin type aligns with this texture, as we've already covered, right? So I think that this should be more popular. Like, why is this not more popular? I think that this is a great skin restoring cream, a good skin soothing cream. I am personally going to rate this moisturizer a 7 out of 10. I think that this has a lot to offer. I think that it can be a great soothing and gentle type of moisturizer for certain skin types, especially if you need something that is moisturizing but light in weight. So I'm curious if you've tried either the 147 cream or the 345 cream. Let me know your opinions in the comments below. And if this video review helped you out, I would love it if you would hit subscribe, especially if you want to see some more content from me just like this. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you're never out of the loop. I love you so much. Thanks for being here with me today. I hope you're healthy, happy, and safe, and I hope that you keep shining your light. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.